Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome to episode 6 of Cactus Springs. In this episode, we're going to be making a iron golem farm, working on building our floating water village, and lastly, we're going to be building a bridge all the way over to that land. So, let's get started, shall we? Alright, guys. So I'm trying to figure out where exactly I want to put the iron farm because for it, we're going to have to place it 150 blocks away from any other villages, or any village type structures. So as you can see in the background, we've got all of our villagers right there. So what I'm thinking is somewhere far in the distance over in this little area, we'll probably put the iron farm, and I've got our happy gas down there for us to transport our villagers when we need to. We'll take two unsuspecting victims and we'll bring them over to the iron farm, and they'll have their new duties living a life of producing iron golems over there. So I'm going to get headed over there and I'll get with you guys once I've gotten it started. Okay, guys, so I'm at the spot where I'm planning on building the iron golem farm. As you can see in the distance, there's Cactus Springs. So what we're gonna do is dig out a 5 by 5 hole, and then this hole is going to go 8 blocks down. So I'm gonna dig this out, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Okay, guys, we've got our hole dug now, and I went ahead and got some of the materials that we need for this build. So we're gonna need 20 fletching tables. We're gonna need some wool for crafting 20 beds, and some extra blocks. So we're gonna jump on down, and to start off, we're going to need to start making a bunch of beds. So what we're going to do is make all these beds real quick, and we're going to place them like so. Just like this. Then we're going to do the same thing on both sides. Repeat it. And then we're going to go down another block, and then under these, we're placing another 10 beds. So I didn't come up with this design. I found it online, but seems to be a pretty good design, so oops. Definitely didn't mean to make all those furnaces. Oops. Gonna need to go get some more blocks in a minute, but alright. Make some more beds. Alright, so now we've got most of our beds placed. The next step is to place blocks in the corners. Alright, so place blocks right here in between, just so that we don't have any extra mobs spawning in here. Place a block in each of these corners. I'm just going to choose to do wood in this case. Then we're going to grab our fletching tables. Let me just move the rockets out of my left hand. And we're going to place them like this, covering the whole entire floor. Alright, so now we should have something that looks a little bit like this. We're going to go ahead and replace the corner and center block with glowstone. And this is going to prevent any zombies from spawning in our bottom area here. And then we're going to take some glass, or whatever block of your choice, and we're going to cover this up. Then we're going to leave a 2x2 area so that we can bring 2 villagers on over here. So I'm going to go fly back to the village, and I'm going to get 2 villagers to bring on over here. Okay, guys, I plopped the boat down, and these are the 2 villagers that hopped on in. So I said, you know what? All right, you guys want to come on over and be the chosen ones for the Iron Golem farm, I ain't gonna hold you guys to it. So we're flying on over to our area right over here. Not too far away, but just far enough away that it shouldn't affect any of the Iron Golem spawns. So this is probably going to take another minute or so just to fly over here, so I'll be back in a second once I got these guys in the hole. Alright guys, so I got both of our villagers down in the hole, and as you can see, they took the fletching profession. And now at this point, this is the easy part. All we gotta do is break down into here and just give them a bunch of carrots or any kind of breeding things for villagers. So at this point, now that we gave them that, we just gotta wait a while and let them breed. And then once we've got the max amount of villagers, we'll be able to have a functioning farm. Okay, so while we're waiting for our villagers to continue breeding, we are going to go ahead and take the sides out another two so that we have a 7x7 area. And I'll get back in a second once I've finished doing this. Alright guys, now that we've got our hole expanded a little bit, what we're going to do is come on in and pick one of the sides for the iron golems to flow to. So for me, I'm going to pick this side, and right here what we're going to do is we are going to make a little hopper distribution area that's going to flow into a chest right here. So we're going to place a chest just like this, grab our hoppers, place them just like this. And on top of our hoppers, we are going to put soul campfires. On top of the soul campfires, we are going to put a slab right on the back here on top of that chest, just so that it doesn't get affected. Place a block on top of that. Sorry, you guys probably can't see that great. And then on top of these campfires, we are going to place signs so that we can place a lava bucket in the center. Jump up right here, place another sign on top of this one. Might be a little bit tricky to get the angle correct. Grab our lava bucket, place it just like that. And then in these corners, we are going to place water buckets. So I'm going to need to grab another water bucket, but just like this. So our iron golems will flow all the way to here, and they'll get killed by this little kill chamber area. And then what we're going to do is come back over here and then just make a little area for us to get all of our iron from. So at the moment, we're still waiting for all of our villagers to grow up to become adult villagers, and once they do, our iron golems should start spawning. So very simple iron farm. Alright guys, and we're back. So I finished up the iron golem farm. As you can see, we've got some iron golems spawning. The spawn rates aren't crazy with this, to be honest with you guys. I'm only getting maybe one or two of them about like every 5 minutes or so, and then sometimes the cats will spawn and sometimes they won't. But this, I'm getting maybe like half a stack, maybe a little bit more than that, every like 10 to 15 minutes, which isn't the best, but I mean, as far as just being able to sit here and get some iron, it's alright. But we're gonna go ahead and get started on doing some of the other builds in this episode, because this iron farm, if I'm being honest, off camera, I just spent about a few hours just trying to get this thing to function, and it's been quite a pain, and I'm ready to work on some other stuff. So we're going to be doing the floating village in a little bit here. So let's go get started. Alright, guys. So we are back at our villager area. So what I'm planning on doing for this build is extending this little pathway out a little bit, adding some nice little floating villager huts along with some fisherman outposts, and then it's going to be all the way extended towards the massive treehouse or jungle treehouse. And my plan is to add some more jungle-esque floating villager huts around that area that connect all the way over to here. So I'm going to get started laying out a blueprint for it, and I'll get back with you guys once I've got an idea of how I'm going to do this. Alright guys, so I went ahead and finished doing the blueprint layout for our floating village. We're gonna go ahead and fly on down, and I can show you guys what exactly the plan is. So any of these bigger bits that are, I guess, 5 by 5 blocks are just going to be, I guess, structure pillars where they go all the way down and then they kind of hold into the ground. And then any of these small little spots that are extending out from the original boardwalk area are all going to be small little fishing village huts. So each of those we're going to add little villagers in, and then the plan is right over here at this spot I'm going to put a big cruise ship type of style thing. Not exactly sure if I'm going to do like a cruise ship, but like a very big pirate ship-esque type of thing right here as it is docked. So I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. Going to do like little bamboo planks underneath the things for rafts, so it should work pretty well. Okay guys, so I went ahead and started trying to design the little raft bit for the bottom of the fishing villager huts. I'm thinking this is the final design I'm going to go with. I tried a few other designs and they just didn't necessarily look right for the space that we've got. So I'm going to go ahead and start designing the top of the hut, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit once I got that started. Alright guys, so this is the design that I'm going to go ahead and stick with, I think. I went ahead and did a few different variations, and I think this is the best one so far. I think the only thing that I need to do is do a little bit more variation with some of the dark oak in some of the spots, like the stairs and whatnot. I'll just change them out. And then for the top, or the roof part, I'm going to do like a variation, I think, of like white and blue or like a white and red on the tops to make them look kind of like beach umbrellas, but not exactly. Um, so we are going to have to head over to the Rainbow Cloud. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Rainbow Cloud yet, but we are going to take a quick little trip on over and I'll show you guys what it's all about. So the Rainbow Cloud is our rainbow sheep farm. We've got every single color wool available in the farm. It is very useful whenever we need wool because we can just head on over here and get whichever one we need. So usually I originally built it with a minecart system, but we can just fly on in with the elytra. And then I'll just find that block out and place that back. So this is our rainbow cloud. As you can see, we've got all the different color sheeps available. So we are going to need red and white wool. So I was in here a little bit ago and I was shearing a few of the sheep trying to get some white wool. So pretty much you click the button, you activate it, and then all of the sheep will be pushed around the perimeter. So these are the buttons that you press. They'll be pushed around the perimeter, and then all of the wool will fall out, and you can look through the little windows in the top to see how many of them still have their wool available. So we're going to be getting some red wool, and we're also going to get, I think, blue wool, or like a dark blue would probably look good too. And we can always come back and get some other colors if we want to try them out. But yeah, guys, this is the rainbow cloud. Every single color you get roughly a stack and a half once you sheared it all, and sometimes the wool will go up to the top. So sometimes you just fly up to the top and grab all the bits that go up top. But yeah, this is a really amazing farm. This was one of the first very big builds that I did in the world. Definitely one of my favorites as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get to shearing a few more of these guys so we can get some wool. And I'll be back with you guys back at our floating village. Alright guys, so we're back at our floating village. And I went ahead and added our roof to our little floating villager outpost. So we've got the fishing rod, we've got some fish on some item frames, and we've got the bed and then the barrel, and then we've also got a nice little spot he can fish from. So all we've got left for the hut part at least is taking our villager or our fishing villager from over there and bringing them on over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Okay guys, and we got our fisherman in his nice little fishing outpost. I think it looks great. So now what we're gonna have to work on is the perimeter of the boardwalk area, kind of extending the outline all the way around, and then most likely adding some sort of fence type of thing around some of the spots to somewhat replicate what we've got going on. Oops. Right on over here on this little walkway. I'd say so far it looks pretty good. But I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the outline for it. And once we're done that, we'll start replicating the huts and making the huts all around. And then we'll have to work on getting a bunch of fishermen. So I'm gonna get started on the outline, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so I was able to start the outline for the first little bit of the walkway, and I ran out of logs, so I wasn't able to put a pillar right here and another pillar right here where I would put them. And I also broke the block that was connecting the little hut, added a little bit more support on the bottom, and I'm still going to put a sign right here, a hanging sign, but I just haven't gotten that far yet. So I'm going to go ahead and start going to farm some more materials, because gonna need quite a bit for happy gas getting in the way. Gonna need quite a bit to outline this entire thing. If you can see, we've got like just the first little bit done, and that used maybe 3 or 4, maybe even more than that, stacks of dark oak logs. So yeah, we've got quite a lot of farming to do. So I'm gonna get to it, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so I went ahead, did a little bit of farming, got some more dark oak logs, and extended the border a little bit for our boardwalk, or our walkway for our floating village. I think it's definitely coming along pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start finishing the outline for the entire thing, and I'll get back with you guys once I'm finished. Okay guys, so I have finished the outline for our floating village slash boardwalk. I'm gonna drop on down, and I can show you guys. Got all the fences and all the beams. Then we've also got spots to get back onto the boardwalk, because it's always gonna be necessary if you're in the water to have a way to get back up. So now, all we've got left, well, not really all that's left, but the next step is adding all of the fishing outposts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started doing that. I'll probably do a cool little montage where I just do one at a time because each one is gonna take probably roughly 15 to 20 minutes to do, and I've got 18 of them to do. So I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, and we have finally finished completing all of our huts for our fishing village. It definitely did take quite a while, hours and hours condensed into that short little about 30-second clip that you guys just saw. I hope you guys liked the little compilation or whatever you might want to call it. But I'm going to go ahead and start showing you guys some of the village so far now that we've got all the buildings in. So, first off, we got Fez. He's our first fisherman that we've got. He is all the way maxed out, and he's got some really good trades on him, like some fish for an emerald or some puffer fish for an emerald. So, for this build, we've still got to get all of our villagers and bring them into all the little huts. But as you can see, they're all fully constructed. They've got the little rafts at the bottom to keep them afloat. I'd say it looks pretty awesome. Just do a little run through here real quick just to show you guys what it's all looking like. Tons and tons of work went into this. Definitely really fun to build. Just very time consuming creating all the little huts. I believe altogether there's 19 huts, so almost 20, and each of them took about, I'd say, around 10 to 15 minutes each, so I'm sure you guys could do the math and see that this took quite a while to build. So I hope you guys like the design. I think it turned out really good. Once we've got all the villagers in here, we'll have a little bit more life to our world, and it's definitely going to be awesome. Go ahead and just do a quick little aerial view of the whole thing. Looking really good. Nice and colorful for sure. I've got this little platform up here, which is where I was doing all the compilation stuff pretty much for each little hut that you saw. So our next step here is just adding some decor. So my plan is adding a bunch of small little canoe slash boat things around in the water near all the little huts. At some point, maybe in this video or another video, we are going to do a big ship right here that is docked up. And then we'll probably have some other ships off in the distance as well. We were also planning on doing a bridge from this section all the way over to here in this video. I think I'm going to change those plans, and we're going to do a little bit of a more just adding some stuff for the village, because it took way longer than I was expecting it to, for sure. Tend to get a little bit ambitious when it comes to builds, and I think it's going to take a little bit less time than it usually does, and I end up getting stuck on a project for way longer than I thought it would be. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing a little bit of just extra little decor and extra little aesthetic things to our floating village, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit once I've done a little bit of that. Alright guys, and we are back. We finished up all of our decor, all of our decorations, all of the extra aesthetic things that we wanted to go ahead and add to our floating village. And let me just tell you, it took a few days to add everything that I wanted to add. So just note that this is hours and hours worth of work just doing these little extra, I guess, decorations or whatever you want to call them. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the village. And this is what we're looking like, guys. We'll fly on down. Start from the very beginning. After I just do a brief little flyover of the village. Took quite a long time, I'll say. So we'll just start from the beginning here. So this is the only hut that we've got a villager in so far. I still have to go ahead and add all of the villagers, but as you can see, we got our gas in the background too. I added nice little canoes. Actually, somehow forgot to add a lantern on the front of this one. But we've got these nice little canoes around each of the fishing huts. Go ahead and show you. We've got, as well as, we've got colored armor for each of the huts that matches the top of the huts. As you can see, we got another canoe. Each of them is a little bit different than the last. Some of them are pretty similar, but I tried to go ahead and change them up so that there was at least a bit of a variation in the build. As you can see, we've got all the different colored armor. I think it looks really good. We got over here, we've got our guys in their little sailboats fishing. Got another one right here. He's casting out his line. And then there is another one right here. I think that was definitely a really nice aesthetic for the background. We'll head over to those in a little bit here, and I'll show you guys a little bit of those. We got some more canoes. I think it looks so good. Just reflections off the water. You can see all the huts. There's a Cactus Springs sign. Banners just aren't loaded in because we're slightly far away. I think if we come to this corner right here, they load in. Let's see. Alright, I think we gotta get to this corner if we want the sign to be loaded in. But we'll get back to where we just were. Got a few more huts. Go in third person. But yeah. Definitely took a really long time to design everything and build it and come up with a kind of a final idea of how I wanted to put everything together. You see that boat's got some chests in it. Some boats have chests, some boats don't. Got another guy casting out his fishing line. It looks awesome. More colored armor and some more sailboats. The reflection off the water, seeing those sailboats, man, I think it just looks so good. Vibrant visuals, definitely really good. I love it. Got a nice little turtle right there. Oh, two turtles. That's cool. Alright, let's head on over to some of the sailboats, shall we? So, coming on over to the sailboat. I designed these myself in the creative world. I think they turned out pretty good. Took a little bit, but definitely worth the time. Got a little rudder at the back. And then you can climb on up. To get the fishermen in the different places, because they're not exactly on the blocks, or like on a, I don't know what you would want to call it, but they're not placed in the center of a block. I used a fishing rod to pull them onto different spots. That way they would be, I guess, non-linear to the blocks, or however you would want to call it. I'm not necessarily sure how you want to call it, but not in the center of a block. Simply put, we've got these guys, and I think it looks really cool because normally you just have them in a few of the different spots, but because of the fishing rod to the armor stand, we're able to put them in different spots, which is definitely really cool in my opinion. Then we jump on down to the bottom. We've also got anchors anchoring in the sailboats just so that they're not going anywhere. Definitely looks amazing in my opinion. I mean, I would be biased because I built it, but you guys like it, go ahead and drop a like. Definitely would appreciate it for this, what has been probably, I want to say like a 20-hour build, maybe a little bit longer. We've still got to put all the villagers into all the different huts, but that's gonna take quite a bit of time. So I'll probably end up doing that off camera between episodes. Um, but yeah, this is going to be pretty much the end of this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys like our fishing village. We'll give you just a nice little aerial again, nice little view. And yeah, guys, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.